Alrighty, welcome to this video, and today's video I'm going to do a head-to-head shoe review between the Topo Specter 2s and the Saucony Endorphin Pro 4s. Now the reason I'm making this video is because these two shoes I believe fall into a sort of similar category, but they will suit different running styles. They have a lot of similarities but also a lot of things that separate them. So if you're looking for a sort of faster up-tempo or workout shoe, even potentially a race shoe depending on your needs, then these two shoes sort of fall into those categories. And I'm not going to go into all the specs that you would see in other shoe review videos. You can find them easily online, you know, the stack height and the weight and all that. Not going to go into that. All I've done is I've come up with 3 simple categories that differentiate these shoes between one another, just to help you get an idea on which shoe may suit you the best. Okay, so the first category I've decided on is the foot strike pattern for each shoe. So let's start with the Topos. If you're familiar with Topo, they're sort of similar to the Ultra brand in a way. They've got the very wide toe box, you can see there, the sort of anatomical foot shape. However, they generally have a 5mm heel to toe drop, sorry. So this shoe has the Pebax foam. It's very light, it's got a lot of good energy return to it, and it's sort of their one of their race day shoes. It's their higher stack height race day shoe. And what I've found with this shoe, you can see the forefoot bed, it's pretty massive. You've got this huge chunk of Pebax that sort of sits out here. You can see the forefoot bed, it's really nice and wide, really sticks out to the side. And what I found as a forefoot striker myself, just this huge bed of foam here to slam into the road and propel you forward. It's just such a fun shoe to run in. It really promotes a really efficient forefoot strike. Whereas the Sauconys, on the other hand, these shoes I find they don't suit my natural gait specifically. I sort of find it a little bit more difficult to land comfortably on the forefoot of this shoe, and I believe this would suit mid-foot to heel strikers a little bit more. So that's one really big difference between the two shoes, is how it promotes the foot strike pattern. I find with the Sauconys I just have to think a little bit more to get myself into my natural foot strike. It's not a major detractor for myself personally, but I do notice the difference. And so I think if you're looking for a shoe that suits a little bit more mid-foot to heel striking pattern, there's a lot of nice foam there in the heel. It's really supported. It's a really fast shoe. The foam is soft but really responsive. It's a really fun shoe to run in. Then I think in terms of the foot strike pattern, that's one of the key differences in these shoes. I'm not sure exactly what the compound is in the Endorphin Pro 4. It feels faster than the Topos, but it does feel very similar. It seems like it's a Pebax sort of formula, but I could be wrong. But obviously the Topo there, it has the actual Pebax brand sort of, I don't know if that's in shot or not, but sort of has the Pebax brand written on it. So yeah, similar sort of feel in terms of the foam. This shoe just feels a little bit faster, but like I said, slightly different foot strike pattern that it sort of promotes. It sort of what feels more natural in those shoes. Yeah, is quite a big difference, I believe. So if you're looking for more forefoot, Topo, more midfoot to heel, Saucony. So the second category is just generally where do these shoes feel their best. I feel with the Sauconys, they are certainly more built for speed. If I'm ever doing a workout where I start off in a softer, more general day-to-day shoe that I just do easy runs in, if I do the warm-up in them, when I initially change into these shoes, you can feel the aggression in them, you know. They almost feel a little bit rough around the edges when you transition from a softer shoe. But once you get into your stride, this is a very fun and fast shoe. But I think that's really where it excels, is when you're picking up the pace and really compressing this foam and putting a lot of force into the foam. That's where it feels good. It doesn't feel as good at a slower pace, so to speak. Not that you can't run slower in these shoes by any means, but certainly comes to life at that speed. However, with the Topo, with it not being carbon plated as well, there's no carbon plate in here. It's got a much more built up sort of bed of foam around the heel. It's a more just comfier shoe in general. I find this shoe a lot more versatile in terms of when I would take it out. I've actually been taking it out on a lot of my easy runs. It's felt really just easy to just have a shorter, choppier stride, keeping my cadence fast, but just ticking over the legs, doing my recovery runs. It feels great at any pace. So it's comfier in terms of just fit in general. It feels comfier on your foot. It's less aggressive because it doesn't have that carbon fiber plate in it. So I find this shoe a lot more versatile. You can take it on long runs. I've taken it on some long runs. You can do some faster workouts, and you can do easy runs in it as well. So I find it a lot more versatile. However, the Saucony is faster. So if you really want to maximize your speed in your workout, then this is certainly a faster shoe than Topo. Not drastically, but you can certainly feel it. You feel that extra assistance from the plate in the shoe, and I think the foam just has a bit more energy return in it as well. Last category is quite obvious. It's just the fit. We have the anatomical fit in the Topo. It's a lot more wide in the forefoot. And the Saucony, it just has that more tapered sort of traditional fit to it. However, I do find for the Saucony, in terms of for a more traditional shoe, it actually is quite accommodating. It's not quite in the super shoe category, but it is a race day shoe. And yeah, I found the fit is fairly accommodating for that sort of style of race day shoe. It certainly tapers in more at the pinky toe compared to the Topo. The Topo certainly gives you a lot more width, as you can see there, obviously. But yeah, the Saucony is very good in that category as well. With the Topo, they really do nail the anatomy of the shoe. They really do provide a good lockdown in the midfoot, which is great. They let your toes splay, having that nice wide forefoot, but then they make sure that the shoe tapers in nicely and really locks down the midfoot. So it still feels like a secure sort of race day shoe, but the toes are allowed to splay. So personally, I prefer that sort of fit. My feet are fairly sort of short and wide, so it can be sort of difficult finding the right fit. So I really personally prefer these wider shoes. But like I said, for a wide foot person, the Sauconys, if you're looking for a race day shoe, they are surprisingly accommodating for this category of shoe. So yeah, that's essentially the three main categories I wanted to cover in this video that differentiates the shoes. They're essentially both great shoes for faster workouts or even race day. If you're in the category of wider shoes, this is a great race day shoe from Topo. It doesn't have the carbon fiber plate, so it may not compete with something like an Ultra brand, where Ultra have the Vanish carbon too. Personally, I haven't actually tried those shoes, but in terms of those more anatomical shaped shoes, this is probably one of the fastest ones, certainly one of the fastest ones I've ever tested, and it's a lot more of a versatile shoe, whereas the Saucony, not as versatile, but certainly a little bit quicker and more suited for race day. And yeah, that'll about do it for this video. So I hope this sort of comparison video has helped. Like I said, they have a lot of similarities. They're good, really good, fast, up-tempo or race day shoes, but certainly will suit different foot shapes and striking patterns, and whether you're looking for a more versatile shoe or strictly race day shoe. So yeah, hope it helps. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.